Hey there. Before we get into this video, I thought I'd let you all know that I will not be posting any more Vault Fighter SMP videos, as I have made the decision to leave so I can pursue other forms of video. Putting together Vault Fighter SMP episodes took too much of my time, and I was unhappy with the schedule I had laid out for myself. Also, apologies for the long wait time between this video and the last. School exams have had me occupied, and I've had little time to work on videos, but now that they are over, I should be good. I have a big video planned in the near future, so make sure you stick around for that. Anyways, enjoy the video. What's going on, people? Welcome back to my Vault Hunters 1.18 starter guide. In this video, I'll be covering everything there is to know about vault gear, vault pickaxes, and magnets, as well as various mechanics accompanied with vault gear. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into it. The first thing I'll be covering is how you can obtain vault gear. The most common way of obtaining vault gear is by getting lucky and finding some inside of ornate chests in the vaults. Another way to obtain vault gear is via completion crates, whether that be monolith, boss, scavenger, or champion crates. Vault gear can also be found randomly in the black market for soul shards or in the bounty table. The final way to obtain vault gear is by crafting it in the vault forge. Any and all vault gear can be put into the vault recycler to be smelted down into vault scrap. The vault recycler can be crafted with 5 chromatic steel ingots, a lava bucket, 2 vault essence, and a netherite ingot. The amount of vault scrap you get from the vault recycler is random, but it guarantees 2 to 10 vault scrap. Vault scrap is used to craft a scrap pickaxe, which I'll be showcasing a little bit later. And you can also craft vaultite ingots, which can be used to make vault alloys for vault gear crafting, or repair cores to repair your vault gear in an anvil. Luckily, all vault gear will not lose durability outside of a vault, so feel free to use them to your heart's content in the overworld, nether, and end dimensions. Moving on, we have the vault forge. The vault forge can be crafted with 5 chromatic steel ingots, a blast furnace, 2 vault essence, and a netherite ingot. Very similar recipe to the vault recycler. The vault forge might look a bit confusing at a first glance, and it sort of is, but I'll explain everything. This is the section in which you select what you want to craft. As you can see, I can craft any of these vault gear pieces as long as I have the required materials in this section over here. The vault idol has a little bit of a different crafting recipe, requiring you to have any 3 of the 4 vault god blessings, including multiples of the same vault god blessing, which can be attained by completing altar chest quests inside of the vaults. You can also craft trinkets in the vault forge, but you must have obtained the trinket at least once before you can craft it. At the very top here is the vault gear proficiencies. The way proficiencies work is the more you craft a specific piece of vault gear, the more proficient you are at crafting it. As you can see, my vault shield proficiency percentage went up after I crafted a shield. Once you reach a certain threshold, you begin to craft a better tier version of that vault gear. From 0% to 10% proficiency, you can only craft the novice tier of vault gear. From 10% to 30%, you can craft apprentice tier vault gear. 30% to 70% is master tier, 70% to 95% is artisan tier, and 95% to 100% is master artisan tier. When you craft a piece of vault gear, you raise the proficiency percentage of that vault gear piece, but you also lower the proficiency percentage of other vault gear pieces that you craft. That means it's best to focus on one piece of vault gear to get you to a higher proficiency. The way all these tiers work is the higher proficiency tier you have, the more likely you are to get a better rarity of vault gear. It isn't guaranteed that a master artisan vault gear piece will be a better roll than a novice vault gear piece, however it just increases the chances of it being better. Vault gear have 5 different rarities, which are scrappy, common, rare, epic, and omega, scrappy being the worst, omega being the best. Don't be tempted to think that the rarity of a vault gear piece determines if it is better than a higher leveled vault gear piece. As you can see here, this vault chestplate is of epic rarity, however it is limited to tier 1 rolls for its implicits, prefixes, and suffixes. You might not know what these are right now, but I'll explain when we get to the vault artisan station. If we take a look at this level 100 scrappy chestplate, we can see that it may not have as many prefixes and suffixes, but it has higher tier rolls. You can see that it has a tier 8 roll for armor, which is actually kind of insane, 20 armor bars on one piece of armor. Now, let's move on to the Vault Artisan Station. The Artisan Station is crafted with the same materials as the Vault Forge and the Vault Recycler, however requires an anvil in the middle instead. The artisan station essentially changes the implicits, prefixes, and suffixes of a vault gear piece. If we take this sword right here and put it into the table and then hold shift while hovering over it with the mouse, you can see a more detailed version of the sword. Implicits are buffs that are implied with the sword, meaning stuff that the sword would normally have, like attack damage, attack speed, and durability. Prefixes and suffixes are buffs that are just added onto the vault gear piece. Some of them are self-explanatory, such as 18% stun attack chance, but some of them are not as clear. I'll leave a link in the description down below to the Vault Hunters community document that has every single vault gear modifier and explains them. What you need to know is that Soulbound means that if you die in a vault that doesn't have Beginner's Grace with this item on you, it will not be lost when you respawn. Spiteful, Baneful, and Holy mean you deal a percentage of extra damage to illagers, spiders, and undead mobs, respectively. You can also see that right next to these vault gear modifiers that they are all tier 1 rolls. You can get higher tier rolls the higher the vault gear level is. Now, in terms of changing the implicits, prefixes, and suffixes, you can do this by using these focuses, which can be found in the vaults, or there's a small chance of getting one after smelting vault gear. Each focus does something different. For example, the wild focus will reforge all prefixes and suffixes, and the amplifying focus will add a new random modifier if there is an empty prefix or suffix. In order to reforge your vault gear, you will need some vault plating and vault bronze, which both could be obtained in the vaults. These other focuses are quite self-explanatory, however this slot here with the empty space is for faceted focuses. A faceted focus, similarly to a wild focus, will reroll all prefixes and suffixes, however it will then guarantee the modifier attached to it. So in the case of this one, the faceted focus would add extra damage to the vault gear piece. By tinkering around with all the different focuses, you can make whatever kind of vault gear you want. However, you should be careful how much you play around with a piece of vault gear because the more you reforge, the more vault plating and vault bronze will be required to reforge again, and your vault gear's crafting potential goes down. The opportunistic focus can reset the vault gear piece's crafting potential, but these are really rare and it's not practical to use these on low level gear like this. And that's just about it for the Vault Artisan Station. Next, let's talk about vault pickaxes. Hey there, this is VoiceOver Elite here, and as I'm sitting here about to publish this video, I've learned new information that vault pickaxes are getting completely rehauled in the next update, which at this time is update 7, so please take my explanation of vault pickaxes with a grain of salt. Anyways, back into the video. Vault pickaxes are a little bit different from vault gear because they have their own upgrading system and you can only get them by crafting them. They also lose durability while outside of a vault, unlike vault gear. There are 5 different vault pickaxes, each one requiring more expensive materials to craft them and in return are better than the last. Let's start with the scrap pickaxe, which can be crafted with 3 vault scrap and 2 driftwood, in the same configuration as a vanilla pickaxe. The scrap pickaxe has 1500 durability, 1 repair slot, and 10 mining speed. 10 mining speed is the base mining speed for each of the vault pickaxes, and it's about the speed of a netherite pickaxe. Moving on, we have the basic vault pickaxe, which can be crafted with vault ingots and 2 driftwood. This is the pickaxe you'll be using the most in the early game because it has 4000 durability, 2 repair slots, and it is not too hard to obtain. The next pickaxe is the black chromatic pickaxe, requiring 3 black chromatic steel ingots and 2 driftwood. It has 6000 durability and 3 repair slots. The second best pickaxe is the echoing pickaxe, requiring 3 echoing ingots and 2 driftwood. It has the same durability as the black chromatic pickaxe, however it has 4 repair slots instead. Now, this pickaxe seems really expensive, and it is, but it pales in comparison to the prismatic pickaxe, requiring a whole 3 omega pogs and 2 black chromatic steel ingots. To put that into perspective, that is 72 of each of the 9 player gems, 11 perfect black opal, and 16 chromatic steel ingots. This is an extremely expensive pickaxe, however it does pay off with 10,000 durability and 6 repair slots. So, that is the 5 pickaxes. Now let's talk about upgrading them. In order to upgrade a vault pickaxe, you will need a tool vise. A tool vise is crafted with 3 chromatic steel ingots, 2 copper, an anvil, and 3 polished vault stone. Now, when you put your pickaxe into the tool vise, you're going to be able to upgrade it in 4 different ways. You can increase the durability, which is straightforward, and you can also increase the reach at which you can mine blocks from. You can increase the mining speed, which is also really simple, and lastly, you can increase copiously, which will give you more gems when you mine them, similar to Fortune. Speaking of Fortune, these pickaxes can also have vanilla enchantments like Efficiency 5 and Fortune 3 on them, and they will stack with the Tool Vice upgrades. Each of these upgrades costs a different amount of materials, from really cheap to semi-expensive. If you take a look right below the pickaxe, you can see this bar right here with a yellow arrow and a percentage underneath. This percentage is the chance that your pickaxe will succeed in upgrading. And since this is the first upgrade, we have a 100% chance of upgrading the pickaxe. If I upgrade this now, you can see that the percentage has just dropped to 98%. Now, if I were to upgrade this pickaxe and not succeed the upgrade, the pickaxe completely breaks and I cannot get it back. I'll just demonstrate this right here, and pickaxe is broken. Now, because that was a scrap pickaxe, the chance to succeed in an upgrade went down by 10% with each upgrade. If I take this vault pickaxe and upgrade it, you can see that it only goes down by 5%. You may have also noticed that with each upgrade, we make a little bit of progress towards the yellow arrow. Once we reach that yellow arrow, it will get pushed back a little bit, but now your pickaxe has gained something called a socket. Sockets allow you to add a jewel to your pickaxe. Each jewel has a unique ability that will be added to your pickaxe. For example, the Ash Jewel will add Sturdy to your pickaxe, which will increase the durability by 50%, and the Gorgeous Jewel will add Shoveling to your pickaxe, which, as the name implies, allows your pickaxe to function like a shovel. If you are lucky enough, or you have a good enough pickaxe, you can have lots of these sockets on your pickaxe. Some sockets do stack. For example, if you have Pulverizing and Smelting on the same pickaxe and you went to go mine some dripstone blocks, you would end up getting bricks because Pulverizing would convert the dripstone blocks into clay, and then Smelting would turn the clay into bricks, so just be aware of that. The way to add these jewels to the pickaxe is to combine it in an anvil just like so. However, make sure that you want to use that jewel because the jewel adding process is irreversible, meaning you can't go back and change it. That is just about everything you need to know about pickaxes. Now on to the next thing I'll be covering, which is magnets. Magnets are pretty cheap, only requiring 5 magnetite ingots, 2 chromatic steel ingots, and a vault diamond. What a magnet does essentially is use your mana to pick up items from a distance and put them into your inventory. In order for a magnet to work, you have to put it in the belt slot right here. Now, if I try to throw out a stack of blocks, they will be automatically picked up. However, my mana is being drained significantly. That is where the magnet modification table comes into play. Just like vault pickaxes, magnets can be upgraded 4 ways: the durability, the range at which you can pick up items, the velocity at which the items come to you, and the mana efficiency of the magnet. Again, just like vault pickaxes, whenever you upgrade a magnet, the chance of it succeeding in upgrade lowers. Instead of getting a socket when you reach the yellow arrow, you gain a random modifier on the magnet. The list of magnet modifiers can also be found in the Vault Hunters community document in the description. Okay, the last thing I wanted to talk about was the transmogrification table. Now I can tell you right now, if I got this word during my grade 3 spelling bee, I might have just shit my pants on the spot. But in Vault Hunters, this table is used to change the skin of a Vault Gear piece. Unfortunately, you can only change the skin of a Vault Gear piece to a skin you have previously unlocked. For example, I have this shield here and I can't switch it to any of these other shield skins, but I've already discovered this Ender shield skin, so I can switch my current skin to this one for just a little bit of Vault Bronze. And with that, I believe that is everything you need to know about Vault Gear. If you found this video helpful in any way, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe. I'm literally on the edge of 50 subscribers as of right now, so it would be pretty awesome if you could help me get there. But anyways guys, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later. See ya.